There has been an awakening. Oh yes, there has been an awakening. Hey guys, what is up? I'm Ty McDougal and welcome to my channel and welcome to my redo review of Star Wars Episode VII, The Force Awakens. When this film came out, the fans were hyped, reacting to the trailers, and the people were talking about this movie for months afterwards. But the one thing that always bugged me was how people always called The Force Awakens a remake of A New Hope. Yes, there are similarities, but it's not a remake. It's the first in a sequel trilogy, and J.J. Abrams did a smart thing by keeping with familiar themes and motifs. It helped to ease the fans into a new Star Wars adventure. It's been more than 30 years since Return of the Jedi was released in 1983, and the story of Episode 7 takes place 30 years after as well. And the visual and practical effects in this movie are awesome. Everything in Episode 7, from the uniforms, the flight suits, to the ships in the Resistance and the First Order, all look like they evolved from the original trilogy, because they did. Even the X-Wings and the TIE Fighters are advanced versions of the ones seen in the original trilogy. And the Millennium Falcon, my god! We all saw the Falcon in that first teaser trailer, but when we see Rey and Finn make a break for the garbage ship and it's revealed to be the Falcon, the entire audience went nuts. I'm not kidding, I saw that movie at least 2 or 3 times in the theaters and it was the same reaction each time.
Chewie, we're home.
That line struck a chord and I still get goosebumps. Because to be honest, I never thought I'd live to see the day where the original cast were up on the big screen reprising their roles. To see Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford on screen again as Han and Leia was like a long-awaited reunion. And it was touching to see. And learning that there had been some rough times and division between the two characters made their story a bit more interesting. And to see Mark Hamill as the aged Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is something that I never thought I'd get to see. As for the story of Episode 7, I loved it. It had familiar elements, yes, but it also had new twists, a new look, and it still had that classic Star Wars vibe to it. J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan did an excellent job at recapturing what was great about the original Star Wars, while giving it a modern edge and the right touch of humor. The story centers around our newest cast of characters, Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron, along with his little sidekick BB-8. The main bad guys in this movie, Kylo, Hux, Phasma, and Supreme Leader Snoke, are all members of an intergalactic totalitarian regime known as the First Order. And these guys make the Galactic Empire look like a marching band. Now, at some point after Return of the Jedi, these guys came in and took everything the Empire had and made it 10 times more powerful. And maybe we'll get a little more backstory into that in Episode 8. And again, the plot is a familiar one. A droid has vital intel that could bring the bad guys down, and everyone is after it. In this case, it is BB-8 who is carrying a map that leads to Luke Skywalker, who has vanished. Into exile he has gone. While some seek his help, others seek to destroy him. Rey is a scavenger girl on a desert planet with a hidden power and an unknown past. Finn, formerly known as FN-2187, is a young stormtrooper who defects after witnessing the slaughter of innocent people. And Poe Dameron is the hotshot pilot in the Resistance. Kylo is the new villain in this movie, who is the son of Han and Leia, nephew to Luke Skywalker, and is someone who worships Darth Vader. We see him praying to Vader, and he even has his burnt, molten helmet from the Battle of Endor. How much of a sick, evil-worshipping dick do you have to be to go dig up the ashes of your dead granddad just because you think being bad is cool? Kids today. And did you all notice that Kylo's real name is Ben Solo? Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. Supreme Leader Snoke is the evil master who has Kylo brainwashed, much like how Palpatine had with Anakin. And Snoke is hell-bent on finding and destroying Luke Skywalker so that he can rule the entire galaxy. And he has the means to do it. With this thing, Starkiller Base is the planet-sized superweapon that makes the Death Star look like a golf ball and can take out several planets in one shot. Captain Phasma, played by Game of Thrones actress Gwendoline Christie, leads the First Order Stormtroopers. And these guys can actually hit a target. The visual effects and POVs used in the dogfights between the TIEs and the X-Wings are impressive and fun to watch every time. The new lightsabers and their effects were also cool and better than anything we've seen before in a Star Wars movie. They even used Force Effects lightsabers as dueling props to create that subtle glow cast onto the actors, which gave a little more realism to the lightsabers. Which is something we've only seen once before in Star Wars Episode 2 between Anakin and Dooku. Now, there are issues to be had with The Force Awakens, of course. It was cool to see that super weapon blow up, but that victory came about too quick, and it was too much like A New Hope, I agree. Now, if Starkiller Base hadn't blown up, but was disabled somehow, that would have left the film on more of a cliffhanger that could have led into Episode 8. And it would have remained a looming threat over the Resistance. But at least it didn't kill off Kylo after one epic battle like it did in The Phantom Menace. The Force Awakens may have had familiar elements, nods to the original, and one too many campy moments for sure. But this is a fun movie nonetheless, and that's the best way I can describe it. Episode 7 is a fun Star Wars movie and a good start to a new trilogy. And on that note, I'm giving Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens a Titan rating of 9.5 out of 10. It is Star Wars back to form, and as I said before in my original review, J.J. Abrams did it justice. But what do you guys think of The Force Awakens, and what do you hope to see in The Last Jedi? Whatever your thoughts, share them in the comment box. I am Titan McDougal, and thanks for watching, guys, and that is it. I have reviewed every Star Wars movie leading up to Episode 8 The Last Jedi, which is due out this Friday. I already bought tickets for me and my nephew, and I cannot wait. Be sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for my review of Episode 8, and I will see you on the next Titan review. May the Force be with you.